I got the moves. I got the moves. Oh, I'm making moves. You gotta move. You gotta make the city move. Like, whoa. I make the city move. I got the move.
The 2021 NBA draft is still a long way away, but the hype for it is already immense. With the 2020 NBA draft expected to be a bit weaker than previous years, the 2021 draft hype is increasing, with talent such as Cade Cunningham and Jalen Green leading the way. However, with all of this talk, everyone seems to look over one player in particular who has been dominating on an international level, yet rarely ever enters mock drafts. That player is Josh Giddey, who just recently became the youngest Australian to represent the national side since Ben Simmons. If you don't know who he is, that is fine, because in today's video, I'm going to be taking a look at Josh Giddey, his come up in basketball, his strengths and weaknesses, and where I see him going in his basketball career. If you're new here and enjoy the video, be sure to drop it a like and subscribe. I normally do NBA videos on this channel, but I had to share some spotlight on my fellow Australian today. But with that all being said, let's talk about Josh Giddey.
Lucas.
I understand a lot of you may not know who Josh Giddey is, so let me give you some background information on him. Josh Giddey is a 6'7" small forward from Melbourne, Australia, whose dad, Warwick Giddey, was a professional basketball player in the NBL, playing for 15 seasons. However, in the last couple of years, his son Josh Giddey has had a major rise in national attention over here in Australia, and has made massive leaps the last couple years to get himself where he is now. Josh Giddey has recently been playing exceptionally well. He hit the game winner for Team Victoria in the Under-20 National Championships championship game. And then, as I mentioned earlier, became the youngest player selected to the Australian men's national basketball team since Ben Simmons. In his first outing for Australia versus Hong Kong, Giddey had a great game, dropping 11 points, 3 rebounds and 6 assists in under 13 minutes of action, and finished the game with a box plus minus of 38. To be fair though, the Boomers did win by over 60 points, but for a guy that young to be making that much impact is insane and should not be underrated. He's also had success recently for the NBA Global Academy and was recently named MVP at a major junior tournament in Barcelona. According to 247 Sports, Giddey has received offers from multiple D1 colleges such as Arizona and Colorado, but has officially made the decision to go the professional route and play in the NBL, which is of course where LaMelo Ball and RJ Hampton have played this past year. So, it's clear that Giddey is a special talent and will hopefully start becoming a common feature in the first round of mock draft soon. But how good is he really? What are his strengths and weaknesses? For his strengths, Giddey's greatest has to be his passing. His game in that area is phenomenal, and it's clearly showed on the international stage. As I mentioned earlier, he dropped 6 assists. It's always been the biggest factor of his game and really separates him from other players at his position. Another strength of his is his ability to seamlessly transition his play to the next level and maintain his level of confidence that he has. What I mean by this is that when Giddey moves up to the next level of competition, for example, going from playing for his state to the national team, he can do it comfortably without any real bumps and issues. He doesn't get nervous seemingly, he plays with the same aggression and confidence he normally does, just on a different stage. This is a big reason as to why I'm so confident he will become something special at an NBA level, because he always seems to adjust automatically to his new environment, and again, it doesn't seem to bother him at all. For his weaknesses, his biggest weakness to me is probably his shooting. Now don't get me wrong, Giddey has actually been improving his shot a lot lately, and of course he's still very young, so there's a lot of time for him to fine tune his game. However, this part of his game isn't too consistent to me and will probably need more improvement if he wants to be regarded as a top 10 pick in the 2021 NBA draft, but I have no doubt he can do so with the effort he's been putting into it lately. So those are the strengths and weaknesses I believe Josh Giddey possesses. Next up, I'm going to look at Josh Giddey's NBA comparison. A player that reminds me a lot of Josh Giddey is actually Ben Simmons, as well as a bit of Luka Doncic, but mainly the passing aspects of those guys' games. The way they run the floor as oversized guards is phenomenal, and the ability to set up their teammates is their biggest strengths. Some of the passes and assists made by Giddey during the Australia-Hong Kong game was something some NBA players still struggled to do, and reminded me a lot of Ben Simmons and Luka Doncic in particular. But be sure to let me know what NBA player you think he reminds you of by watching the highlights in the background, so be sure to let me know in the comments below. So, how good will Josh Giddey become? If I'm being honest here, if he continues the trajectory he's on, I can easily see him becoming a first round pick in the 2021 NBA draft, and perhaps even cracking the top 10 if he can have success in the NBL. As I mentioned earlier, Giddey's ability to smoothly transition to the next level of play without any bumps is amazing, and it's why I have high confidence he can perform well at the professional level and potentially in the NBA. So overall, this is what you need to know about Josh Giddey. He's a 6'7", 6'8", small forward out of Melbourne, Australia, and has recently been tearing up the basketball scene here for Victoria and overseas for the NBA Global Academy. He's an amazing passer and playmaker and sets up teammates with ease and can look comfortable at any level of basketball. To me, Josh Giddey is hands down a first round pick for the 2021 NBA draft with no questions asked, and I fully believe he can become a lottery pick by the time that draft night comes. Giddey has so much potential, it's actually ridiculous, and I'm extremely excited for what he can do in the future. Unfortunately, I've realized that not many people outside of Australia know the sheer talent of this kid, so I hope I've informed some of you today. But that will conclude the video. What do you guys think of this? Have you guys heard of Josh Giddey before? And from this video, what do you think of him? Can he make the NBA to you? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys want to know more on him or look at some more of his highlights, I highly suggest giving them a watch. There's a lot of highlights on YouTube, so be sure to go check them out as well. I've linked a channel in the description of a guy that I got my highlights from, so be sure to go check them out. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop it a like and subscribe. But with that being said, I am out. Peace.